Turn the volume up, let the truth slide in. From the block to the ballot, we talk how we live it. Sports, politics, culture in the same lane. Two voices, one mic, no watered down game. It's the Unk Phew Podcast, where wisdom meets the way.
All right, we're back. Welcome to the Unk Phew Podcast. I'm Uncle Chris. That's nephew Malcolm. What's going on, Malcolm?
It's all good. How's it going? How's everybody doing today?
Good, man. Long week. On the road. Had a class, another part of the state. Had to go knock that out real quick. But yeah, good week. Everything's rolling up here. It's nice and cold, kind of dreary outside. I'm sure we'll probably get some snow pretty soon. We're getting hammered with rain close by in Washington. So I'm pretty sure you've seen all that on the news.
No, I didn't see that on the news.
You got to pay attention, bro.
I mean, there's a lot to pay attention to these days, but you know.
You never know. You never know when something might be coming your way.
That's true.
Usually
they warn us. They'd be like, okay, we got to stretch it out to this area now. The message.
Them warnings be bullshit, though. So,
yeah. I mean, no one's paying attention to Oregon weather up here but you.
Right. Hey, check it out. Go for it.
No, I was just saying, how's everything? How'd the test go? Because I know you had one.
Oh, it went good, man. Went good. Had 2 practical hands-on exams, 2 written exams. Knocked them all out of the park. A little nerve-wracking leading up to it. A lot of information dumped on you in 4 days, but yeah, it worked out good.
Okay.
Another nice little certification under my belt. So,
bing bow.
That's it.
You gotta do it, man.
Oh,
let's start off with these picks. You know, this is something we do on this show.
Real quick before that, let's make sure that the people understand that if they rock with us, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to get notified when new episodes drop, go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, hit that like, notification, and subscription. That'll help us out. We're a growing channel. We talk politics, we talk sports, and we talk culture here. So anything going on pretty much in the United States, that's pretty much those 3 central themes.
For the most part, nothing's off the table.
Yeah.
For the most part, nothing's off the table.
So we'll start with, since tomorrow is Sunday, we'll start with our NFL picks. And yeah. So
all right.
How you want to do this, Unc? You want
to? Let me call them out.
Okay.
First game that I want to jump on is Ravens and the Bengals.
You already know my answer to that. We want some revenge.
Is your answer coming from a fan's perspective, or is your answer coming from a realistic perspective? Remember, you called me delusional, so keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I mean, no, from a real perspective, we have everything we need. We just kind of, just need a break. I'm going with Ravens all day. We got Lamar in the backfield. There's no. I'm not betting against that.
And I believe you guys or the Ravens are playing at the Bengals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's gonna be a tough one, bro.
It is. We got Joe Burrow back. Before that, cakewalk maybe, but not cakewalk, because you still had Joe Flacco out there doing his thing. But yeah, I got the Ravens home team, of course.
That's right.
What about you?
Yeah, man, as much as I love the play of Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, when Derrick Henry is on, obviously I had him at the beginning of the season on my fantasy team, and then.
Oh, you traded him?
Yeah, I traded him because he had just dropped off, man, and I needed some running back production, and I wasn't getting it. And I needed to make the playoffs for my fantasy team, so I couldn't wait through bye weeks.
Who cares about your fantasy team?
Look, bro, I care about my fantasy team. So, so as much as I rock with those cats, I got to roll with the Got to roll with the Bengals on this one. Joe Burrow is black. Probably wishes he was black. No, let me stop. Joe Burrow is back, and he's for somebody who's been out with a pretty significant injury for most of the season, he came in playing and firing on all cylinders, looking like the Joe Burrow that he looks like usually when he finally catches fire for the season, looking like that Joe Burrow when he really only played one game, 2 games, maybe at the beginning before he got hurt. I think he got hurt first game of the season, maybe second game, somewhere in there.
It was real early.
Real early, but when he came out, it didn't look like he had any rust whatsoever. So he's been looking good. Jamar Chase is back to Jamar Chase because Joe Burrow is back. So he that number 1 wide receiver got his quarterback back. So I'm going to roll. I'm not going to put a score on it, but I'm going to roll with the Bengals on this one, man.
I feel you. Bengals, that Burrow to Jamar Chase combination was lethal in our last matchup. So
yep.
I get you. I have faith in our defense. They've been challenged throughout these last 2 years with just adversity and trying to grow, new coach, everything. So I believe we're going to be able to the thing is, you can't really shut Jamar Chase down, but you can limit the looks and you can challenge the passes. So if we do a good job at contesting, if we do a good job at closing out some of those looks, then I think that we'll have a good shot at winning that game.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm never going to really go against the Ravens just because y'all got Lamar Jackson over there, and then with the addition of Derrick Henry.
Lamar.
I mean, Lamar can, people doubt him so much, but if anybody could pull it out, it would be Lamar. But for this week, and the purposes of what I've seen out of Joe Burrow coming back and Jamar Chase looking better, I'm going to rock with the Bengals on this one.
Okay. I
Let's
hope you're totally wrong on that one.
I know you do, but I don't think I will be.
Let's see. What's the next one?
Raiders, Eagles.
Ooh, Raiders, Eagles. Let me look at that game. Obviously Eagles. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's Eagles. Do we even really got to talk about it?
No, we can move to the next one.
Is there any real analysis that needs to go on here? I will say this. Eagles lost 3 straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be in their head a little bit, but it's the Raiders.
Could be.
It's the
It could
Raiders,
be.
though. And
sometimes the Raiders pop up and give you a hard time, Like
sometimes they do.
Like I think we lost a game to them early on in the season, and we thought, oh yeah, it's the Raiders. Nope.
Yeah.
They were like, nope, let's get it. I can't remember if this season or last season, but it was one of those shockers. Like, oh, we actually lost.
Yeah.
To these guys. So yeah, you can show up if you're not connected. They can sift that out, and they can get lucky, especially on the defensive end.
Right. Yeah, I just think that there may possibly be some locker room challenges, and with the 3 losses, there tends to finger pointing tends to creep in and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, come on, man, it's the Eagles, and they're the leaders of the NFC East, one of the top teams in the NFC, even with the 3-game slide. I just don't, and the Raiders got to go there. I believe so. It's cold. Got winter storms going on back east. They're probably going to play in some weather. So with the Raiders being in a dome and the Eagles being outside, I don't see them losing 4 straight games. So I'm going to rock with the Eagles on that one.
Okay. Yep. I'm rocking with the Eagles. Not even a question there. All right, we got the next ones. We got the Cardinals and the Texans.
Texans. I'm rolling with the Texans.
I picked the Texans as well, even though I live in Arizona, grew up in Arizona. I don't root for Arizona, but they are my number 2 team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Texans are on fire this year, and they've been on fire. I really like what they got going on the offensive, and their defense has just kind of been showing out. So,
Well, for me, it's the defense. And Texans, I have their defense as my starting defense in fantasy. They have not disappointed. They've put up some major numbers. They way out exceed the numbers that are predicted for fantasy. So the Texans defense is probably the number one defense in the NFL right now. And then C.J. Stroud came back last week. He looked pretty good and did his thing, coming off an injury. I think it was a concussion he was on. So, yeah, the offense looks like it was back clicking. And even when the offense isn't performing, at top-tier level, that defense keeps them in games and for the most part, wins ball games for them. So I'm going to roll with the Texans over the Cardinals. Cardinals are also my number 2 team next to the Cowboys, just because of being born and raised there, But for purposes of being transparent and honest, they are not beating the Texans. And Cardinals actually have to go to Houston to play. So
that's a tough crowd. That's a tough crowd
very tough crowd.
When Houston is doing well, because the city going to show up.
Oh,
and it literally shuts down the whole city. Like, everywhere is playing the game. Like, if you're navigating through Houston with a red hot Texans team, and the game is on, and you're not paying attention, you feel like you're missing out on something.
Right.
It's because you are like the city is like really live, especially when they're winning.
Right. Yeah. For that and for just that reason alone, I'm gonna roll with the Texans. But the defense, there's just nothing else to say, man. They're gonna come in and do their thing, and the way they come at you with all the different looks and stunts and the blitzes and all that stuff, you just can't handle those guys, man. So Texans it is.
That's true.
Next game, man, is Chargers and Chiefs.
Chargers, man. The Chiefs, you can never really put it past them. So my pick is the Chargers. Only because they've been struggling. The Chiefs been struggling a little bit, and personally, I want them to lose. That's just because they're in the AFC.
The AFC division. I'm gonna go against you on this one, man.
Okay.
I'm picking the Chiefs. First and foremost, the Chiefs have lost 2 straight, I believe. Mm-hmm. And they've had an up and down season. But, they still got Patrick Mahomes over there, right? And you can never count him out. And I think they're going to right the ship. And Chargers got to go play in their house, right? And I'm sure it's going to be cold weather. And I doubt it'll be, just a super nice sunny day for them to play in. And they're a little pissed off right now and a little embarrassed. They lost on Thanksgiving Day to the Cowboys. And then they turned around and lost again last week.
With the dagger.
So yeah, man. I don't feel like the Chiefs are going to lose another game. Not 3 straight. So yeah, I'm rocking with the Chiefs on this one.
I feel you on that, but I just think that the morale is down so much. But it's in a way you can't explain it. Like, why is Kelsey having a bad season? Nobody really knows. It's really in his head, and those are the hardest things to navigate from week to week while you're in the season. The season's rolling, because your mental, most of your game is going to be. These are professional athletes, so they have the physical ability to get it done, but it's really the degree of separation is going to be in the mental game. And right now, I saw the interview and he looked defeated. So, that's one of your top players, your top receivers, and the person that you go to when you need to get that score, and he's mentally checked out. So, if it's not that he's checked out, but something's going on up there to where he's not the same. It's almost similar to what we saw with Klay Thompson when he was with the Golden State Warriors. Some of those last few seasons, it just didn't feel right to him. But Klay Thompson, he's a professional, one of the best scorers that we've seen in this generation, but he couldn't get it together. So I feel like the Kelsey has the same thing. So I think until that is fleshed out, because Kelsey's a leader, so everyone else is looking up to him. So is Mahomes a leader. Mahomes pretty much shows up, takes what he's given, and then tries to make something out of it. But he does need that extra help, and that's why I see Kelsey pretty much gone out the picture. Now he needs to show up, and I think he knows it's a problem. But I don't fixing it during the season and going against a really good Chargers team. I don't think they're going to take it.
Well, Mahomes has weapons outside of Kelsey, right?
Right.
You know, he's got Rice. He's got. I don't know if you would call Pacheco a weapon
Pacheco
per se, but yeah, he's still a formidable player, Hunt. So yeah, he's got weapons outside of Kelsey. But yeah, the Kelsey thing is, I think it's just more age, body shots that he's taken, catching balls across the middle for the majority of his career, taking those big hits. I just think it's catching up to him. A lot of people want to blame it on his personal relationship, but I don't think that's it. I don't think it's like his mind's not in the game because he's involved with someone. I think it's more that, you know, he's aging. You know, you take those big shots. I mean, even when he's not catching the ball, taking shots, he's still got a block, right? So you're still making body contact on pretty much every play as a tight end. So, yeah, I just think that it's just more of an age thing. There could be some nagging injury or something there that they typically are not going to tell you about. They're going to hide because, you know, obviously you don't want other teams knowing somebody's hurt and where they're hurt. But all in all, they're playing at home. They still have Andy Reid as their coach, which it's not like he's forgotten how to coach. And they're, you know, Mahomes is their quarterback, and you can never count them out when you got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it just is what it is, right?
That's very true. That's very true.
So yeah, for that reason, man, I'm sticking with the Chiefs on this one.
I feel you on that. In terms of I didn't even think about the potential wear on the body. So he's in his, what is it, 05? That's 11th, maybe 12th year?
Yeah.
12 years?
Somewhere in there. I don't know. I ain't
he was drafted in 13, so he's a decade plus in the NFL. That may explain, but it seemed like he had it all there last year, right? So just having a 1 year off shows me, like, usually you'll see like a gradual decline, but this was a sharp decline. So that's what I'm thinking. It's mental, because like if it's not mental, then, you know, I think people are speculating it may be something to do with his personal relationship, something outside of football that's creeping in, which could be, but it could be coming from many different reasons.
That's clickbait. That's clickbait. I don't buy into that. I think it's really more to do with play, wear on the body. And then, of course, you know, if you're not performing, even if you are a little bit banged up and you're not performing at your normal optimal level, it's going to mess with your head, because now you get in your head and you start, you know, the pressure builds on you. You put that pressure on yourself. So it's more, I think it starts with a physical thing, me personally, and then it creeps into a mental thing. And I think the personal relationship has nothing to do with it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think the personal relationship has anything to do with it either. I particularly think that you might be onto something in terms of it's maybe a combination of the mental and the physical catching up with him, and then mental. Because if you have such high highs like they've pretty much been on top of the world when it comes to a feeling standpoint.
Yep.
You're the go-to guy that's gonna make the score or make the play that gives your team ability to score on a comeback in the Super Bowl. This is the fifth. This is like the third time you've done it. So it's kind of interesting in terms of like how do you go from up here from a feeling level to like down here. That's a big drop. That's the variance. That's a big variance. So
it's a huge variance, but that's the life of a professional, athlete, football player especially, when those guys are involved in head-on collisions on every play. So that's just true. The way it goes.
That's true. Let's hope he gets it together.
Yep.
And let's hope we're wrong.
Next one.
What do you see?
I see Bills Patriots.
Ooh. Patriots, man. Like, you're in their house.
Yeah.
You're in their house. So even though the Bills are good, like you can never really. Josh Allen, if he doesn't have any weapons, he's gonna run it, and it's hard to stop. He's 6'4"?
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Big
like
boy.
He's not only skinny, tall, 6'4". He's like. I wouldn't like. There's a few people that if they're running towards you, I'm gonna get out the way. One of those is LeBron James. I'm getting out the way. I'm not sacrificing my body.
Right.
Another one is like Embiid. Right. I'm looking at basketball, but any of the football guys. But if from a quarterback standpoint, if Josh Allen is running towards you, I'm getting out the way.
Definitely hard to tackle. Right.
I'm getting out the way.
For me, so it's kind of a 50-50 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really expected that the Patriots would be what the Patriots are right now. They're balling out. They are taking care of business in their division and having a super successful season. Mike Vrabel is coach over there. Has got those guys turned around. Drake May is doing his thing. He is like really balling at the quarterback position. But it's the Bills, bro. At the end of the day, even with the adversity that they've had this season, losing a couple games that they definitely should have won, it is still the Bills. And right now, I would not especially not against the Patriots and Drake May, who's having a phenomenal season, like I said. But I wouldn't bet against Josh Allen going up against the Patriots. I mean, I think this is the type of game that he gets up for. It's definitely a rival, right? Division rival specifically. So I definitely wouldn't bet against Josh Allen. Going to the Patriots is not a big deal. They both play in similar weather. Bills obviously playing a little bit. I think their weather's more harsh than what the Patriots get, but they get the same type of weather. So that's not going to be a factor. I think it's going to be Josh Allen, mostly with his arm, but there's going to be some huge plays out of him with his legs. And he's going to be very, very difficult to stop, and especially in a rivalry game like this. And they need this game. So I see Patriots putting on a great performance, and it's going to be close. It's probably going to come down to the wire, probably last one with the ball. But I think that it's the Bills that come out on top in this one for me.
Okay, you got the Bills. I probably selfishly want the Bills to lose because...
Of course you do.
They've been the reason we've been knocked out a couple of times.
You selfishly want everybody in the AFC to lose.
Just lose.
That ain't the Ravens.
Just everybody lose. I don't care about y'all.
Sounds a little delusional to me.
I said I want. I mean, I'm not saying...
I get what you're saying.
I'm not midway in the season saying Super Bowl.
That's right.
Okay, so go ahead.
We done on that one?
Yeah. So the Jets and the Jaguars is the next game. I got the Jaguars, man. The Jaguars been surprising me lately. I'm like, I got the Jaguars. I don't know about the Jets, bro.
No, the Jets can creep in and sneak out a win every now and then. Obviously, they only have 3 maybe, 2, 3 on the season. But no, they're not going in to Jacksonville and beating the Jags. It's not happening. It's not like the Jags are like a super superb team or anything like that. But no, the Jets, they're just a bad team overall.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. So yeah, we don't even got to spend a lot of time on that. It's the Jags, man. I go with the Jags on that.
I feel you. So the next one after that, we're getting into the Commanders and the Giants. I think this game is going to be interesting.
It's going to be a super interesting game. Reason being, who's starting quarterback for the Giants and who's starting quarterback for the Commanders, right? Is it Jameis Winston for the Giants? Is it Russell Wilson or is Russell Wilson hurt? I think Jackson Dart is done, right? For this, is he done for the season or is he coming back? I don't know. I didn't look enough into them to know, but we don't know who's. Well, at least I don't know at this very moment who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Giants. And then with Commanders, it's like every time they try to bring Jaden Daniels back in, he's good for a handful of plays, and he gets hurt. And then it turns right back over to Mariota. I think it'll be Mariota tomorrow. The injury that Jaden Daniels suffered last week, I believe it was to his hand.
Yeah.
I don't know all the particulars on it because I didn't really look it up. But a divisional game, obviously. So, division rivals in terms of not super heated rivals, but it's an in division game with the NFC East. I'm going to roll with the Giants because the Giants are at home. And even though they lost Cam Scatterboo earlier in the year, who was doing a phenomenal job for them, they lost Jackson Dart, which I don't know if he's coming back or not. But I think they still have enough weapons. And being that it's an in-division rival who isn't very good, to be completely honest with you, the Commanders. So I'm rocking with the Giants on this one.
I'm going to just go opposite of you. I'm rocking with the Commanders. Although I do like the Giants, and only because they picked up Scatterboo, because he was at ASU making all that noise, and I really like that. But I'm gonna go with the Commanders. I just think they might just upset. It's one of those. It's like a wild card. It could go either way for me, but I'm gonna just be on the other side.
Right on.
All right, moving to that next game, which is the Browns versus the Bears.
Yeah,
I think this one's gonna be a really good game to watch.
It's gonna be a fun game to watch.
I really like to see Shador play, and I really like the what I like most about him is like his attitude, plus the players and the fans is on his side. Now the team, we don't know if the owner or whatever. I think they probably had some who knows what's going on. It looked weird from a fan's point of view. Sitting from where I am, it looked like you guys are taking shots at his dad or maybe his path. It could be economically of interest to do something like you guys have done. But the fans, the players are all behind him. He's doing really good for his first season. I like that, but I just don't know if they have it all to beat the Bears.
So who's your pick?
That one's tough. I'm going to go. This is the only time I'll probably go against what I say. Like, my mind is saying pick the Bears, but I'm gonna pick the Browns because I just want to see Shador win with a good team. Like, the Bears are a pretty good team. They've been surprising people a lot this year, so I probably just want to see him win on a stage like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. The Bears are having, and I said this last week when it comes to getting into the playoffs, two teams that are scary, in my opinion, are the Bears and the Rams, right? But what I saw out of the Browns last week with Shador at the helm, he put them in a position to win that game. I think if a couple plays came back his way, they win. I think if he's in there on that 2-point conversion, they probably pull that out, right? He definitely put him in a good position to win. You still have wide receiver issues, dropping passes. You still have O-line issues, them getting to him and getting sacks. And he's growing. He's a rookie. He's going to have to learn to get rid of the ball faster, so he's got to go through his reads faster and stuff like that. But it's going to be a fun game to watch, and Caleb Williams is balling out right now. Yeah. The Bears have been crushing people. They did just have a loss. So sometimes with the Bears, when they suffer a loss, it's hard for them, at least their history over the past few seasons, is hard for them to pull out of that and not have back-to-back losses. With that being said, for this one, just because, I want to see Shador do well, and I'm actually rooting for him, especially with everything that happened with the draft and how he was treated and how he kept his head down and still did what he needed to do. And so I'm just purely from a football fan perspective and what I would like to see. I'm going to roll with the Browns on this one.
Okay, I feel you on that. All right, and we got a few more. We have the Panthers Saints.
Panthers.
I agree with you. We got the Lions, the Rams. That's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a really good game. But I'm rolling with the Rams on that, bro.
I'm rolling with the Detroit Lions. Only because every time I pick Detroit to get beat, they come out and beat. So I'm going against what I normally would say.
I'm going with the Rams because the Rams are at home. Detroit's got to go there. It's going to be a comfortable place to play because it's a indoor stadium, a dome stadium.
So that shouldn't matter, right?
But so that evens the field there. But the equation is Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. I'm sorry.
I feel you, but
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
It's the Rams, man.
We'll see. We'll see next week what that looks like. Okay, we got the Colts and the Seahawks.
Hold on a minute.
That one's tough. That one's good.
That one's tough.
I'm gonna go with Colts. I'm gonna go with Colts. I don't know. That was tough. That was tough. Okay. I want to go with Colts because they've been red hot. But I also know the Seahawks head coach came from the Ravens, so Mike McDonald. And I really liked him as a coach, as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And I like to see what he's doing with the Seahawks. But I'm gonna go Colts because I just think Colts still have something to prove here.
Who's quarterback in the Colts?
Who's quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Let's see. That's the thing. I haven't really been paying attention.
Wasn't it the Colts that picked up Phillip Rivers off the couch this week?
Oh, yeah, because their quarterback got hurt. Yeah. Oh, okay.
If he's starting quarterback, I'm going with the Seahawks. That's a grandfather out there.
Yeah.
If they make him the starting quarterback, which I don't know if they have yet, but if they make him the starting quarterback, I mean, come on, man. Will he even be able to adjust that fast to the speed
Phillip
of the
Rivers
game?
to start. Yep.
Oh, I'm going with Seahawks. Let's move on. I don't even got to waste my time talking about that.
Okay. I'm just picking the Colts because that's it. Okay. All right, let's. What else we got here?
Packers, Broncos.
Ooh,
Packers.
that's a lot of good games.
It's a lot of good games.
Wait. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. Sorry, Packers fans. I like you guys, but I'm gonna go with the Broncos because I think Bo Nick's been red hot.
No, Bo Nix has been balling out. He's my second quarterback of my fantasy, and I had him starting for a lot of the year. But when Dak started balling out again, I elevated Dak back to starter after I had to drop Joe Burrow because of his injury. But I don't know, man. I'm not counting out the Packers' defense with Michael Parsons over there.
Yeah, Packers.
I think their defense has been pretty stellar, right? And I'm definitely Jordan Love he's been balling too, right? I think he's a difference maker. People don't give him as much credit as they should. So I'm rolling with the Packers on this game, man. As much as I know the Broncos are a good team, and they're playing in not Mile High Stadium, whatever they call it now, but they're playing in Denver.
They're in Denver. So that's hey, I'm going with the Broncos because every time they play in that that's a different environment. I think that's a something that makes a difference because that environment, just even seeing it from fans' perspective on the screen, you can just tell it's crazy over there.
Yeah, but I'm still rolling with the Pack.
I feel you. Okay, so we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins. The next one we got
Titans,
the Titans and the 49ers. I'm going to obviously go with the 49ers on this one.
We don't even got to talk about it.
Nope.
It's not like Titans are like super horrible, but they're going to Frisco. Brock Purdy's back doing his thing. Ever since George Kittle came back, that offense has looked like they're clicking on all cylinders. So I'm rolling with the 49ers.
I'll feel you.
Game of the week.
Is this game of the week?
I say so.
I mean, this is why we say what we say about.
It's the Sunday night game. It's the last one you're going to see on a Sunday.
So
that makes it the game of the week.
Okay, so we're talking about the Steelers and the Dolphins, right?
Absolutely not.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the Vikings and the Cowboys.
Oh, okay. The Cowboys. I see why you said that. You know what? I think.
Come on. Come on. I know. It's tough.
It is tough because you're right. Dak's been balling. I feel like y'all have come together a little bit more, and you're at home. So at home is going to be a little bit different. So I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys, but I'm hoping you guys don't disappoint me.
We won't. Rolling with the Cowboys. Dak is doing his thing. He's balling out. He's throwing for averaging 300+ yards a game with through the air. CeeDee Lamb looked great last couple of games. Pickens had a little bit of a drop off the last game. I think they did some things to him, and I think he got frustrated in the game, and he's just got to overcome that frustration in game. Because it looked like once it kind of got to him a little bit and he got frustrated, he wasn't as locked in on catching the ball. He had some very catchable balls that he dropped, but that's not been his character this season. So I think he bounces back from that. Yeah. And he has a hell of a game tomorrow. I think he loves playing in front of the Cowboy fans. I think he feeds off of that. And I think they do a good job. And that defense has actually turned around since the Raiders game, right? So after Marshawn Nealon took his life, that defense has really kind of turned things around. Plus we had some trades, some picks with Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. So, yeah, I think the Cowboys go in there at home. And I'm not going to say they're going to demolish the Vikings, but they're going to make it definitely difficult for them. And I do believe that they get the win. Probably a little closer than most are going to expect. I say within 10 points, but Cowboys win that game.
Okay. All right. So we both picked the Cowboys. So this is on record. I'm not just a natural hater, right?
You are.
So.
You are, but you know, you do come to reality.
No.
You do have reality at some point. You're definitely
not a natural hater. Like,
you are.
No, I'm just responding to you. Anyway, you guys know what's up.
See, that's what we have to do. As Cowboy fans, we just have to call y'all what y'all are. And even if you try to defend yourself, just overtalk you and tell you are that thing that we say you are until you give up like you just did.
Is that the way? Is the way forward?
I'm going to make it the new style.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully, if you guys lose this, I'm never picking you again.
Whatever.
I don't care who you're playing.
And you won't have to worry about it because we're winning. So next
hopefully,
game, last and final.
Dolphins and Steelers.
I'm going
Monday
with
night.
the Steelers.
You going with the Steelers?
Yeah. I think DK Metcalf has a big game tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but Monday night. I think he has a big game. I think Aaron Rodgers has a better game. You know, it's not gonna be super crazy, but he did run for a touchdown last game, so shows me he still has some fight in him.
Last game, chill out.
Did he run for a touchdown last game?
Yeah, but I mean,
what that shows me is he still has some fight in him. And, I mean, it's the Dolphins, right? They're up and down. You never know what you're going to get with them. You don't know if Tua's going to be hurt, have some sort of concussion or something like that. So you just don't know what you get with the Dolphins. So I'm rolling with the Steelers.
I'm going with the mystery bag Dolphins in this one. Sorry. We just lost to the Steelers. I didn't really like it. I thought we were robbed.
So you're picking on emotions? You're picking on emotions.
I am. This one I am. Straight away. Because we were robbed. And this is like the third time this year. So we really shouldn't have the record we should have.
Were you robbed, though?
You can't. Are you going to sit here and say that wasn't a touchdown?
So
the likely score wasn't a touchdown? I mean, they didn't score. They took it off the board.
What about
Are you saying... No, hold on. Are you saying that was not a touchdown? Because that was game-changing. We would have took the lead. Are you saying that's not a touchdown?
All I'm saying
Just answer the question.
All I'm saying is...
Are you saying it was a touchdown? Just answer the question.
All I'm saying is you had all the other time left in the game prior to that to get the win, and you didn't. So don't blame it on that one play.
I'm not blaming it on one play, but it was a play that was made that was taken away. Like, it's not like it was a play that wasn't made. Well, okay. He caught it, took 2 steps in the end zone, and then dropped it, and then they said, "Oh, it's not a." Come on.
What does that sound familiar to you? Who else did that happen to?
Nobody.
Who else did that? That's never happened to anybody.
I don't know. I don't have anything in my brain that's alerting me that's happening.
Remember him? You remember him?
No, who's that?
Des Bryant. Remember? Nobody stood behind Des Bryant when he did the exact same thing. Caught it, 2 steps, went into the end zone, broke the plane, touchdown. And because when he hit the ground, it came loose, they took it off the board. He had already crossed the plane.
My personal thought is somebody's betting on these Ravens games.
The exact same play.
Maybe the officials.
The exact same play. Exact same thing happened.
It's the first time.
All I'm saying is that catch right there would have been a difference maker to possibly stop the slide that the Cowboys were in.
Is Des Bryant in the league?
Not anymore, but I'm just saying.
How many times?
The exact same thing that happened.
How many years ago was this?
I don't know, man. Probably, 4 or 5, something like that.
You holding up the X like you talk about DMX, like.
All I'm saying is,
I was like,
it happened.
When the X play
And
ball.
nobody stood with Dez on that. So, and what they said was what I'm saying now. What about all the rest of the game?
Oh,
So,
respectfully, this is why we say what we say.
you're picking on emotions, nephew. Picking on emotions.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, they have pretty equal records. So it could be hot and cold. And talking about the Dolphins and the Steelers, they could be either hot and cold. It depends on the day. Yeah, I see the lean towards the Pittsburgh Steelers because they've been a little bit more consistent lately, and they're playing in Pittsburgh. But I think Miami has something to prove if they want some movement. So
Right.
that's where I'm landing. And yeah, I am picking off emotions because I do think we are cheated. So it is what it is.
Hey,
But
every man has to.
But we don't have to bring up, examples from 5-7 years ago. I mean, who's gonna remember that? Plus, it's a different game today.
I'm just showing
they have
comparisons.
sports betting.
I get that, but I'm just showing comparisons. That's all. We show comparisons from 50 years ago. We always do that, so it's not a big deal. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's take.
That
Matter of fact,
that was the
before we
end of
move
the
on.
game. That was the end of the game picks. So
Right on. Well, they're locked in. You can't change them now, and they're on record. Let's take a little break.
all right.
All right, we'll be right. We did our picks. We also talked about we were going to get into a topic that I want to cover, just from a generational perspective, being that my generation of not really versus your generation, just see where your generation views what my generation looks at in terms of like this whole gender war thing, right? But we're going to push that. We're going to push that topic to the next week because, and the only reason why is because we had a big documentary drop on Netflix, right? Probably heard of it.
Watched it.
I know. I heard of it, watched it. It's being dubbed the Diddy doc, the Diddy documentary. Look, I'm not laughing because I feel like it's a cool thing to kick a man while he's down, right? But it's first and foremost, I'm gonna say this about it. If you ever, and obviously you and I would never be in this position, right? At least I don't know if we would be.
I have no idea.
But no, yeah, I'm gonna tell you in a second. The position I'm talking about is being in a position of doing something to get on the bad side of 50 Cent. Because he will hold receipts. And he's clever enough, smart enough, and has enough money to just wait to get his retribution.
Yeah, 50 with beef. It's not a 1 week thing or even a year thing. It's gonna be probably span multiple years, possible decades, because that's how long he's known Diddy. If he was writing songs for him back in the day, like Diddy probably peak was like early 2000s, like 2004. That's when that song came out. So
yeah, and 50 is willing to wait if he has to, right?
yeah,
But so I don't want to even call it petty, but if we're gonna, if a lot of people like to use that word, he has a level of pettiness that is unmatched, and if you dare cross that man, just know that he will not. It may not be today, tomorrow, next week, or even next year, but he will find a way to get you back. So, and that's what, for me, that's what this documentary is. You know, him putting his money behind it, being an executive producer.
but
That's what it is. But it's also, which is clever on his part, is Diddy in his own words and actions.
that's true. But some people are calling it snitching, right? Like some people are like, hey, I'm not watching that. I'm not participating in, feeding a snitch or like looking into whatever the snitch is. This is what I got when I reached out to a few people and they were like, hey, have y'all watched that? Because I watched it, but this is a response. And I saw something that he said that kind of made sense. He said, yeah, like they're gonna look at me as snitching, but outside of the culture, because they come from this culture of stop snitching back in the day, or like don't snitch. He's representative of hip hop culture, so they're gonna look at outside of the culture. People are gonna look at this as, oh, everyone's all right with this within the culture. So there's a culture perspective that he's snitching, but there's another perspective outside of the culture that he's saying that, hey, look, I'm looking out for the best interests of how this is viewed, probably worldwide and not just within the confines of the hip hop culture. In the hip hop culture, yes, consider it snitching. Outside of that, it looks like we are okay with this, and this goes on, but this isn't. Since no one's saying anything, this isn't what's going on. This isn't like what we're cool with. Right.
So let me say this on snitching, okay? It's definitely ingrained in part of the hip hop culture, part of black culture overall as an experience, right? And coming up, that was definitely a code of the streets, code of the hood, code with the homies. You don't snitch, right? But I'll say this: as you get a little older and you grow, like, bro, I ain't doing time for nobody. Whatever. You can say what you want to say. First and foremost, because I know I'm not doing time for nobody, I'm not putting myself in a position to witness you doing something. So I'm not going with you. I'm not going to be around when you're committing crimes. I'm just going to stay away because it's better for me just not to know. Right? And don't bring it to my domain. Don't bring it to my house. Don't bring it anywhere in my circle. If you doing something and then expect me to keep your secret, sorry, it's just not happening. I'm too old to go to prison and do time for somebody who's going to move on with their lives. And so snitch culture is a little bit ridiculous. And the reason why for what you just said is by saying this is snitching, that's also saying, so we know that there's all these deviant things were going on, violent things were going on, and we're okay with it because we don't want to talk about it. And I think your generation is really a little bit more on the hell no. You know what I mean? If it ain't right, it ain't right. My generation did live and died by that code of no snitching, right? But we also paid a heavy price for that too, because a lot of people did a lot of years in prison or suffered having the finger pointed at them for allegations of things they may not have done. And they took the fall for people who didn't even deserve it, to be completely honest with you, right? So with that being said, I don't look at this as snitching, because if you feel like drugging people, raping people, and sexual assault, and somebody speaking out on it is snitching, then in my honest opinion, you're part of the problem, right? And we need to get away from the as a people, period, especially in our culture in the black community, we need to get away from don't snitch, don't tell. You know something is completely wrong and fucked up, but you know what? Keep your mouth shut about it. No, hell no. Because that's how trauma is built. And then you spend years unraveling that trauma because nobody said anything and nobody stood up for victims, right? So that's all I got to say on that. I don't want to go too dark with it. What I do want to say is, wow, if everything that you saw in that documentary is true, and with the people that worked for, surrounded themselves, and were there from day one with Diddy said is true, damn, Diddy was a motherfucker, boy.
Yeah, okay.
Diddy was a motherfucker.
Before we get into that, I just want to say something about the snitching, the non-snitching. The snitching, to me, to my understanding, if you're in the streets, if you're doing something, right, and let's say you and I go and we rob a store
Together.
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 And I get
Okay.
and I get caught.
Yep.
You get away.
Yep.
If I bring up your
Then
name,
you don't say a word because
That's
we did
snitching.
this together.
right?
That's snitching.
If a witness
that-
sees us and gets questioned, that's not snitching, right?
No.
So I think sometimes the not snitching in the culture is like you just can't say nothing. It gets boiled down to that, but that's not the true intent. That's
It's not.
if you're putting yourself in positions to be to have your freedom compromised, then that is when the snitching rules apply. If you're
Yeah.
doing it with people, if you do it by
Yeah.
your lonesome, you
It
can only
definitely,
snitch on by yourself.
applies.
Right.
Yeah.
So with all the, I don't believe per se it's snitching. I do think there's like high level rivalries and like things that there's connection, right? There's obvious connection here. The 50 Cent's baby mother also was dealing with Diddy, so it could be something that she's telling him, hey, this is what happened with me, this is how he did it. And obviously someone who is connected to 50 probably not going to like that, right? Like 50's not going to like some of the stuff he heard probably. So the fascinating part was like that was all Diddy's footage that they had. So it, to me, it's like it's a clever way of, I don't know how they got the footage, but it's a clever way of getting the footage and then like spinning it to where I didn't see anything that we didn't know, right?
Well,
like I just saw all of the accusers who came out with lawsuits or whatever spoke out get a stage.
Yeah. Well, as far as the footage goes, apparently, and this is just what I've heard. I don't know 100% fact because I don't know any of these people personally, right? But apparently, the videographer who was taking that footage for Diddy or Puff didn't get paid, which is
Typical.
kind of shown what everybody was saying in that documentary. Is like he gonna get the work out of you, and he ain't gonna pay you. But this person didn't get paid, but he it's his information, right? It's his video, it's his footage. He can do whatever he wants, and because he didn't get paid, he seeked out. Hey man, I got this. Do you want it? Apparently, that's the rumor, and 50 bought it from him. So, if and let's just jump back just a little bit. Yeah, fair game. Jump back to snitching a little bit.
Okay.
Diddy snitched on himself.
How do you feel like he snitched on himself?
Why would you, bro? I don't want nobody filming nothing. I don't care what's going on.
Well, okay, that's assuming he's committing crimes, right? Like,
well, he wasn't on in those footages, but you can see, especially when he's in the hotel room and he's on the phone with attorneys and assistants and stuff, and he's basically instructing them on how to PR him and get people to say good things about him and all that kind of stuff. And then the footage where he's out trying to be a man of the people. Where was he at? In Harlem? I'm not sure if he was in Harlem or Brooklyn, but he's out on the bike ride and taking pictures with people, and then he hops back in the car and he talks about how he needs hand sanitizer and needs to take a shower after hugging people and all that stuff. He don't care about people. All that's on film because the guy is still filming him saying all that stuff, right? So it just kind of shows you the kind of person he is. That's not a crime, but you're telling people who you are. You're telling people, who you are in terms of what your character looks like, right?
Like what kind of person he is.
Yeah.
I think we all know he's an asshole, right? Like no one, like ever since that video came out, of him and Cassie, or even place it before the video came out, right? You just saw things that just didn't, like, something didn't add up. Like, here's what I mean. You saw him and Cassie have their love affair for over a decade, right?
Right.
And then you saw him have other babies outside of that relationship. So if you dive into that relationship, him and Kim, as it states out in the documentary, him and Kim were involved. But Kim had to be okay with a side chick, which was Cassie.
Yeah.
And then Cassie basically realized this dream of mine is never going to come true, right?
You mean that 10 album deal she signed?
10 album deal was a death sentence. What the hell? Like, who? Like 10 albums? That's crazy. Okay, so he's using power. You can clearly see he's using power to trap
100%.
people. He doesn't pay people, and that always comes to bite you in the behind. If you have some, like, you could tell he's a shrewd business person. So a lot of shrewd business people don't really like to pay, right? I don't think I think you could still be shrewd, or not even shrewd, but you could be skillful as a business person, and have compassion and humanity and help your people and teaching and giving and paying people fair. Just look at Master P. I feel like, personally, Master P is one of those executives that did it right? Like, there's not too many back and forths that you see with Master P. You see him giving up the information. You see him trying to help people. You see it when it doesn't go right. But it's not an overwhelming feeling of like, hey, this guy didn't pay me. Hey, this guy didn't pay me. You have the biggest example in Snoop Dogg. After he gets with Master P, you see his business explodes. His business acumen explodes. So, and he for the first time, he said, I felt like I was paid what I'm worth, and even more. I got more than what I asked for. So those types of things scorn so many people that's around you, that if they're lacking money and someone shows up with a bag while you're down, then what that means is they're going to access that money. Hence, they're going to have a documentary like this big come out at once, right? Like,
right.
So I feel like you're right. He did it to himself. He didn't snitch on himself, but he did it to himself. I don't think particularly what goes on in your bedroom is a crime, but it could be. Unless
you're committing crimes.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, if you take what some of the people said in that documentary, let's talk about the producer, Lil Rob, right?
Yeah.
You saw his portion of that video.
Yeah, I did.
Where he talked about, Puff flying him down to Miami, and they're working on the Love album, and him waking up in the bed, sometimes with women, sometimes with Puff right there, sore, not understanding what happened to him because, he was being drugged. They said the baby oil was laced. They're saying that, they were putting ecstasy and ketamine and people's drinks and all that. So drugging, and essentially, if you believe him and what he said, he basically, without straight up saying it, he was saying, he
got SA'd. Yeah.
He got SA'd. Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't doubt it. He came off credible to me. So
yeah,
to me, that is a crime. Now, that's probably not something Puff will ever face charges for, right? Because it's hard, because you just have that man's word. You don't have video evidence of it. But if, there is video evidence, apparently, according to one of the people who participated in the documentary, about, him drugging her and SAing her and then showing it at parties, right? So, but will you ever see that footage? I'm sure it's been long destroyed. It's not somewhere sitting in some library or, kept in some vault. Otherwise, he'd probably get charged for that too. But if you believe those people, which they sound credible to me, like I said, I don't know these people from Adam, but they sound credible to me. If you believe them, yeah, in his bedroom, he was definitely committing crimes.
Okay. I could see that angle, and hard to prove now being removed for so long, because like especially if you're SA, you have time is of the essence. If you suspect it, you have to go get like kit. There's a bunch of things, right?
Right.
So
unless it's on video.
Unless it's on video, you're right. Unless it's on video, and there's like insurmountable evidence where like you could take it could win in court, then that's okay. But you see, even in the Little Rob scenario, there's a lifestyle that goes along with working with Puff. So
right,
even if you say he's saying, "Oh, this was laced," or like whatever, right? He was still partying. You could tell, like in the documentary. Yeah. Where did he become an adversary? He became an adversary when he didn't get paid. So if Puff just would have simply paid him and stopped leaving all the voicemails, hey man, you know what I'm talking about. Who said you ain't gonna get paid? Nobody's talking about it. I just got a lot of stuff going on. Bro, just pay the bird. Just pay.
Yeah. You probably would have never heard this story. And that's true. That's a fair point.
Yeah. He's no longer in under your roof. So he's probably needs money now. Because no one goes to work, like especially these guys who are in the industry. They don't go to work with you. They'll stick with you for the writing camp. So stick with you for the production until the production, and then they gotta go somewhere. And then usually when they go somewhere, they're like, "Well, didn't you do all that work? Well, where's the money? Isn't this guy a billionaire?" Like these are the things. So like I think he did it to himself. You gotta just pay your people, man. Just pay your people. That's it. Yeah, I didn't really see especially if you're doing all that, right? Just pay them off. if you doing all that.
Hey, it would be the smart thing to do if you're gonna be going down the rabbit hole and living the way he was living. Yeah. You better pay your people, man. Otherwise, they one day will talk about you.
Yeah, and I'm not making it a laughing matter, like being essayed and all that. Like,
no, it's definitely not.
It's serious stuff. But I think like that Little Rob, I think Little Rob could have been like, you know what, I got paid, and he probably would have never had to participate in this thing.
Well, I'm also sure it's probably embarrassing for him to even have to talk about. Yeah, especially when he put it in a lawsuit. I'm sure it's, as a man, especially a black man, I'm sure that is extremely embarrassing. Oh yeah, for him, a heterosexual 100%. Black man at that. So, but yeah, man, just one. How about you don't commit the crime in the first place? Number one. And then secondly, just pay your people, because they are going to talk about things that you may not want them to talk about. And I'm not saying pay them off, but pay them for what the work that they do. Doesn't mean it'll never come out. It just means that, like you said, the word adversary, you probably don't have an adversary, depending on how that all looks. One of the things that did kind of disturb me, though, with the documentary, and they talked about it, especially Lil Rob telling the story, is, and it didn't really get hammered a lot, but it sounded like Justin, Puff's son, was in on a lot of this stuff too. Yes. Participating with his father, which is
that was shocking to me. Like that was shocking to me, because it's like, can you get that far to where you're doing these things with your son? Like, to me, you don't want to like do all that. You know what I mean? Like, you usually keep those things separate from your kids, but right. You must got in such a way to where you think that's okay, and you also, I feel like you also have like. Kind of a God complex, like this is how we do, this is what we do, and honestly, like those habits that you have maybe have potentially spread it to your children. So that means it's been going on for a long time, right? Like he's used to that. And one of the things that surprised me is like Puff has been around for a long time, especially in the music industry. But I would say since like 2003, 2004, we still heard his name, but like we didn't hear any like music. They had to stop the pod because I was cooking too. It got too hot in the kitchen. They said, we don't want you to talk about that stuff.
Yeah. The block was getting hot. It's like that scene. It's like that scene in Forrest Gump when Forrest Gump is in the on the Washington Mall and they're protesting the Vietnam War and they push him on stage to speak, and that army general, whatever he is, kind of scoots behind where all the mics were, starts unplugging everything. So he can't be heard. Yeah, that's what just happened to us. Somebody start pulling the plugs. But nah, it's all good, man.
So yeah, what was your take? Because especially with the partying, it seems like he's been doing this for a very long time.
He's been doing this his whole life.
He's a billionaire. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's only right that you could. It's not only right, but like what I mean is, it's not surprising that his oldest child is experiencing that, right?
Yeah,
like is partaking in that.
In my
following
opinion,
in his footsteps.
In my opinion, his kind of starts with his mom. The type of party she would have, and having him, on the little stage that she had in her living room. Him and the one cat that's like kind of like a brother to him. That lived on the top floor of their house with his family, performing at the parties.
The name?
I can't remember his name, but it might be. I'd have to go back and look. I don't have it written down in front of me, but the guy in the documentary that said that he kind of like a big brother to Puff, right? Growing up, it's similar to that, right? And the way his mother and who she was and how she tried to, keep him dressed like he was a high level gangster out of Harlem, because apparently that's who his father was, right? She kind of emulated him in his father's image after his father got killed, and it's like she kept him around kind of the life in a sense, and it's probably similar to that with Justin, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, but outside of all of that, crazy individual, right? He gonna take your girl from you, right? He did that with I'll Be Sure, right? He did it with 50. He did it with Eric Sermon, right? So if you have something he wants, he's going to take it
Ryan
from
Leslie.
you. Yep. He's going to take it from you. He's going to make it his mission to take it from you. So,
and he know that they coming. Like he has you can see the love bombing effect. You can see that it changes their lives. So they're probably going from working with someone equally to build whatever they're building to you ain't gotta work. It's all here.
It's all right here.
For some women, that's mesmerizing. That's enticing. That's like, okay, I'm willing to jump ship over here because I gotta. Not necessarily every case is like this, but I gotta put in work over here. We're building something over here. It's already done over here.
Right.
And and plus the person is love bombing me, so he's showing all this love and affection, gifts and everything. Mm-hmm. It's the high life. It's the high life that they like, and it's almost like it sucks you in, mm-hmm. but you don't know the monster that just suck you into this lifestyle.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of sounds like Puff started off good, but then he power. Power sometimes goes to people's heads. Power, money, all
Yeah.
that goes to people's heads. And if you, let's say you get away with a crime, and you get like, and then another crime, and then another crime,
Yep.
you're just getting slapped on the wrist. You think after a while, you think, oh, because I'm powerful, because I have money, I have,
I think
a level of invincibility. But ultimately, you don't, because ultimately you have to answer. Like if you look at how this world and the laws were set up, you can't escape the laws that govern this world. Can you do your best to evade them? Possibly, but you can't escape them.
no,
So
you can't escape them.
I think.
And it comes full circle when you think of, what you saw in that documentary in his life and what you know outside of that. The celebrity basketball situation that he and Heavy D set up, and those people got trampled, and I think 9 people got killed or something like that, and no accountability, right? I'm not saying that, he put on the right face on camera to say that we need to make sure, we're going to do what we got to do to make sure that this never happens again. But there was really no, nobody got held accountable for that, right? That's something, and I don't call that a crime. It was just you over promoted it, and it got out of hand, and people, lost their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no, I don't know that anybody ever got paid out of that or anything like. I'm not saying he needed to go to jail or prison behind that, because it was truly just an accident. But there should have been some accountability there, right? But when you look at that from, wow, that catapulted me. That got me into the mainstream. And then, then the whole Biggie and Pac and all that stuff. And so any type of tragedies that he was around, he gained from. He became more important or more famous after a tragedy or something like that, right? So, but then it comes full circle, because accountability caught up with him in what he's serving time for now, right? I still feel like, yeah, he could have spent the rest of his life in prison if all those other charges would have stuck, right? Would have stuck to him. And they didn't. And that's, whether you believe that's a PR thing or somebody in the jury or whatever. But that's the prosecution's job. If they felt like they had what they had, I felt like, not knowing everything, it looked like an overcharged case. You're charging them for things that aren't technically illegal. There's willing participants and things like that. Say what you want as far as the drugging goes, but if you can't prove that stuff, and it's really, really tough to prove, it's probably something you should leave off the table. But, he's going to do some time now with time served, 50 months, something like that. He'll be out, and the man is still going to be a billionaire, and he's still going to be able to move on with his life, right? And
Yeah.
possible. People think that there's going to be retribution. I think probably not, because there's too many eyeballs on it now. I think he's going to just leave it where it is. He might help blackball some people, but I think that once he gets out of prison, he's going to leave it where it is and move on with his life. Because, come on, man. The man still probably has a plane and a yacht, right?
Yeah.
And he can get on that and sail anywhere. So.
Yeah, in the documentary, they said everything is in his mom's name, right? So, like, he probably purchased a house or two, which he was willing to put up, and hopefully to get bail, but they didn't grant bail. This is like the second largest case where dealing with someone in hip hop that took headlines over for a particular case, right, that they didn't get bail, right?
Right.
Young Thug being the first one, and then all of Young Thug's camp didn't get bail. Like, nobody got bail, which
Right.
was in the beginning, it was like, wait, are these guys really like that?
Yep.
But in this case, it didn't matter. Like, the courts didn't care if you were rich and powerful, because they probably had evidence of you abusing that power. So now, if he comes back, and he's probably going to be straight, right? He's sounds like, yes, I live in a rock star lifestyle, but I'm protecting pretty much everything, right? Like, everything's protected. So, yes, he probably lost the deals this and that, but like he's still well off. They're still well off. Obviously, he's not. He has people in his camp that's worked with him that never gotten paid. So
Right.
that's a habit. It seems like, or at least it's a frequent thing that keeps happening, and someone coming out saying I didn't get paid.
Right.
So he's got the money. I would want to see what happens like when he gets out, because I felt like much of the thing, like, number one, you're in a RICO pretty much by yourself.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That's not.
I
how
think
RICO
they just
works.
threw the RICO at him because it was like, this is the only way to get him off
Hey
the
man,
streets.
RICO's popular. Everybody's getting RICO. Young Thug get a RICO. This person get a RICO. Yeah, RICO was popular, and it.
You know the thing
that was
about
silly.
the thing about the Young Thug RICO, just kind of veering off a little bit, is it helped teach us like courtroom, because they had the if you're following that case, that case took a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
We saw who his people were, because like if you're not from probably that area, Atlanta area, or from Georgia, you probably don't know all of YSL at the time.
Right.
But you know the big guys, Gunna,
Yeah.
Thug, Duke, you know
Yeah.
all these guys, but you don't know everybody else that they're talking about. You probably don't even know that they were considered a street gang, quote unquote.
Right.
And this is what the charges were, that they were a street gang. And ultimately, I don't believe they're a street gang. I just think it's normal for people to click up,
Mm-hmm.
especially if there's other clicks outside.
Right.
If you look at I know we're veering off into this topic, so bear with me. If you look at the gangsters, like all of the black gangs were started by out of reaction to racism.
Right.
A group of white males terrorizing the community and say, you know what, we got to do something about this. So a gang is formed, and so that's what when you look up.
A lot of
gangs in
times, government, police officers,
Yeah, but-
law enforcement,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
how
it
it
could be,
came
it could
about.
be.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
not could be.
but-
That's what a lot of it was. It's
Right,
Just
but
keep
what
it
I,
100.
but you're right. But the point I'm making is, they, you see it over and over. Like, white guys show up, terrorize, just enough to form their gangs. Okay, we got 3 gangs. Okay, now let's leave the situation, and they're going at each other. So now you
right.
built up these gangs. You took the source of why they united in the first place,
Yeah,
and then, boom, you have just 3 factions existing, and then pretty soon they're going to go after each other.
yeah,
You saw that with like the Somalis in Minnesota, like the exact same formula. So
Right.
that's the crazy part that I kind of wanted to highlight. But with that RICO, getting back to Diddy, it's kind of crazy, man. Like I knew he was gonna get off, because I felt like the courtroom follows the headlines now. And because they follow the headlines, they don't put their case together as strongly. So when it's tried, that's when the rubber meets the road. Like, all your theories, you have to be able to prove them without a
Yeah.
shadow of a doubt.
yep.
And
Which is kind of
I
one of the
think they-
reasons. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, which is kind of one of the reasons why a lot of these judges aren't allowing cameras and stuff inside their courtrooms, because, but when you have, vloggers, influencers that are there also, putting out a message from their perspective, they can write the narrative of what's really going on and form an opinion that prosecutors and or defense attorneys can see the direction of, what the people are seeing and hearing, and tailor their case to that. So,
Right.
yeah, it could be a bad way to go if you're really seeking justice, or it could be a good way to go if you're under the thumb of justice, right? And you're the one sitting at that table, and having people judge your life. So that's just, that's kind of where that is. And it's unfortunate, everything that happened, but it gives you, the whole documentary gives you an insight into what was happening in that world at that time. You have to kind of take what you heard and decipher if you want to believe it or not. Probably pick some that you do, pick some you don't, or maybe you believe it all, or maybe you believe none of it, especially if you live on the side of this is snitching, so you probably discount it right away. But all in all, I think in summary, the true message is be careful of how you live your life, right? Be careful how you treat people. Be careful of the things that you purposely involve yourself in, because especially as your circle grows and becomes bigger, you could go down a path that's going to get you in some serious trouble, and not everybody's going to have your back, right? And just treat people with respect and dignity, and you should always be fine in that regard. So,
I agree with you.
Good. Go ahead, nephew.
I would add, always have your future self look out for your present self.
Exactly.
So have that conversation, and that usually happens through meditation, some form of meditation. You can envision you can just sit and envision yourself having a conversation with either your present self or a past self. Those things have shown to be effective in therapy, but when it comes to somebody that successful, usually you can feel alone, and you could have that God complex, and that's a dangerous place, because if you have a God complex, but there's laws and regulations and laws that govern this world, and you break those, then you'll quickly realize that complex really means nothing.
Yep. That's it. We're going to leave it there. Good conversation. Good seeing you again this week.
Yeah, likewise.
I will be in town next week, so we get to do this live. Well, not live, but we get to record with each other in person. So
we can figure out a way to do it live. We can figure that out.
we will.
Yeah, let's.
We're gonna definitely do it in person, whether we record it or we do it live. But
no, let's do it in person. I like that.
Yeah. I'll be there, so be in town for a couple of weeks, so we'll be able to set up and make it happen.
I love it. I can't wait.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Next week, we promise to get to one of our topics that we wanted to talk about this week that we pushed off to kind of cover the Diddy documentary and talking about the gender war. So we're definitely going to get to that next week. We'll have some more NFL picks for you next week. Might even start dabbling in the NBA a little bit now that NFL season is winding down. But, you have 1,000 other podcasts you could choose, and we just appreciate you giving us an opportunity to entertain you and give our perspective on the things that we like to talk about. It's the Unk Phew Podcast. All right, nephew.